So I'm standing here amongst this equipment which was used by the Tapestry workshop when it was first established in 1912. The Royal Wardrobe was established in the 13th century and it was responsible for the maintenance of the royal textiles. However, it was closed at the end of the 18th century, and from that moment on, there was nobody caring for the tapestries. In 1838, Queen Victoria opened the doors of Hampton Court for the first time, and this was a wonderful opportunity for people to be able to come and visit the palace. So by the time people were coming and visiting, the tapestries started to deteriorate, and this was really noticed by the public. They actually started writing letters to the Times, and they were published talking about the deplorable condition of the tapestries. It was noted by Edward VII, and he spoke to William Morris about setting up a tapestry workshop here at Hampton Court Palace. And in 1912, it was established under George V. They recruited Henry Curry Marillier, who had studied at the Gobelin Tapestry Workshop in Paris, and he was employed to supervise a small group of tapestry weavers as they worked on these looms in the presence chamber in the Queen's State Apartments. So this team of restorers, they would have worked on flat looms, so there would have been two poles that ran through here. So the tapestry would have been worked on really quite flat, whereas now we have a pole in the middle up here, so that we work on the tapestry at an angle, which is much better for our backs. And the work was really painstaking. The quality was second to none. It was of a very, very high standard, and they achieved a very, very good reputation. And this was no mean feat, because they were working on some of the finest tapestries that had ever been produced in the 16th century. The first set that they worked on were the Dido and Aeneas tapestries, which you can see in the Great Hall on the wall through to the Great Watching Chamber. In 1914, the tapestry which we refer to now as dancing was restored by the weavers. And the reason we know this is because when we were recently undertaking conservation treatment of it, we found on the back of the lining a label bearing H.C. Marillier's name and dating it to 1914. In 1979, Betty and Ida, who were the last two ladies from the original tapestry weaving workshop, retired. They trained a new team of apprentices who were young, enthusiastic, and these people started to question the old methods and approaches. And from this evolved what we now know as conservation. The difference between conservation and restoration is conservation is about strengthening and supporting what's there already, whereas restoration is cutting areas away, reweaving and replicating how it would have looked originally. However, although restoration is not something that we carry out today in our workshop, it is nevertheless something that we value and greatly admire in our predecessors, for without them we would not have this glorious tapestry collection that you see around Hampton Court today.